I wanted to come back to this.
Please,
Your point
please.
About whether we should be concentrating on what you're doing right versus what you're doing wrong. Both of those will work, and you should actually be doing both of them simultaneously. You'll maximize faster. But the real problem is that the system in which we concentrate on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, and supposedly you get paid for some integration of those things, is that we don't understand what we are wired to produce evolutionarily, right? We all operate based on the idea that we're pursuing some state of happiness or satisfaction, and we think we know what's going to get it for us, and maybe it's inventing something, and then you'll be happy. But it's a trap. The fact is, what we are wired to do is to discover opportunities, and then when we discover an opportunity, it benefits the population that we come from, and we turn that discovery into either more mouths to feed or more consumption, and we restore the state of privation, right? We restore the state in which people don't have enough. And so if you really wanted to fix this problem, if you wanted to address the problems that communism thinks it's solving but fails to, you have to engineer around this feature of human beings where we pursue new opportunities, and as soon as we find a new opportunity, instead of figuring out a way to stabilize the benefits so that it results in a stable sense of satisfaction, for example, we fall all over ourselves to turn it into more of the same, because of course that's how we got here.
Can you give me an example of what you mean by this?
Sure. So let's look at something like let's imagine an ancient farmer. An ancient farmer has a piece of land, and that piece of land will support a certain number of people with the level of technology that the farmer is utilizing. Somehow the farmer ends up either thinking of or discovering, by watching somebody else, a wheel. Now that farmer has a technology that allows him, or however many people are working that farm, to produce that much more food with no more labor, because the wheel allows you to transport more, for example, at one time. So now that same piece of land can support more people because it can be more efficiently farmed. That could be stabilized as a kind of success. In other words, you could turn the extra, the surplus, into a kind of persistent
luxury.
Yeah, a luxury, but I mean, luxury is a little bit too trivial sounding. You could turn it into a space where you use that to investigate important stuff. Or you could turn it into more mouths to feed, in which case, as soon as you've produced those extra mouths that are now consuming the output of that farm, now the level of, fear of starvation is right back where it was.
Mm.
And so
that's more money, more problems.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, well, it used to be that we produced more people. Now we
Right.
produce a greater quest for consumption.
Right.
But if we were smart, what we would do is we would think about the problem of how to take the gains that come from not being bumped up at the limits of a system and turn them into what we value.